Each Mother's Day in New York City, the streets are bustling with people selling flowers, teddy bears, and balloons. But on one street corner in the South Bronx, a group of mothers and allies gathered Sunday for what they called, quote, a mother's outrage, to denounce the separation of families due to mass incarceration, police violence, and the city's controversial stop and frisk policy, which permits police to stop and search anyone they deem suspicious. Agnes Johnson of the People Power movement says she helped organize the protest because she was fed up with members of her family and community being harassed by police.
There are some mothers who do not have their sons today. There are some mothers who are now grieving because their sons have been taken by a system that does not respect Black life or Latino life. We're here in the street because Mother's Day originally was a day when mothers came out and protested the loss of their sons. That's what the original Mother's Day was. It was not the buying frenzy, the Hallmark cards, the candy. And so we're here today to say to the NYPD, to say to all the cities across this nation, because this is a nationwide problem now, a nationwide. The killing of our sons and daughters must stop. Our children must be protected from the internal police departments that are after them.
Johnson also added that these police practices adversely affect the health of people in the community.
It makes people not healthy when they have to live in a community that they know does not protect them. Or if they are stopped and beaten or by the police or harassed or given bogus tickets every day, it tells them the society does not value them. It makes for sick, ill people.
At least 5 people have been killed by NYPD this year, and in just the first 3 months of 2012, almost 200,000 people have been stopped by police, according to the New York Civil Liberties Union. As part of the action, mothers held a speak out at a busy intersection in the primarily low-income African American and Latino neighborhood. They invited all whose lives have been affected by the police and prison system to speak.
Racist policing looks like last year over 90%. Almost.
Jody Nicole works with the group Mothers Resisting Racial Profiling. She's been working with mothers whose sons have been killed by police and said she reached a tipping point as a Black mother, fearing the world that her daughter is growing up in.
Police are in schools, police are in high schools, police are in middle schools, and the system it's not set up to handle the way that our communities are not served adequately, and the way that whether it's our children or our men or our women or people in our community respond to that, it's not set up to handle that. So if kids get upset, if kids like throw emotional tantrums or whatever the case may be, instead of having like, you know, some kind of like really holistic, radical social work approach, or like, you know, really investigating what's going on, like what is that child responding to, folks call 911, folks call police on young children, on children in 4th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade.
Demonstrators also denounced the NYPD's controversial stop and frisk policy. According to an analysis of police data recently released by the New York Civil Liberties Union, the NYPD carried out nearly 700,000 stops in 2011, a 14% increase from 2010. 90% of those stopped were Black and Latino. More than half of those stopped were also frisked, but police only found weapons in less than 2% of all cases. The latest figures also show that youth of color are disproportionately targeted. The NYCLU says police stops of young Black men, about 168,000, exceeded their total population in the city, and in more than 600,000 of those stops, police did not arrest or ticket the person they targeted. Despite growing criticism and lawsuits, Police Commissioner Ray Kelly recently told CBS News that stop and frisk is a necessary program for city safety.
What we're trying to do is save lives, and the stop and question tactic is certainly not the be-all and end-all, but it's one of the strategies that we use to reduce violence.
But many disagree, including the mothers gathered on the South Bronx corner Sunday. Stephanie Colon is a community activist and mother. She says her children have served time in adult facilities as minors.
Stop and frisk is the beginning of the pipeline to being a part of the industrial incarceration complex. And once you become part of that system, all your rights are taken from you. And I know, as from a family, I am a wife of a husband that has been incarcerated for more than 20 years. Of our relationship, which is 28, it has traumatized our entire family. And in doing so, you face a lot of families of color being devastated and traumatized, being criminalized, and not being able to access resources.
Many in this neighborhood share those firsthand experiences. Sherelle Penn was walking to the subway on Sunday when she stopped to listen to the Speak Out.
Myself and my husband was walking home from the supermarket, well, going to the supermarket rather, and he was stopped and frisked. He is now incarcerated in Rikers Island for the last 2 weeks now. We're fighting nail and tooth to get him out of there because it was an unjust arrest. And that's basically the situation. It needs to stop. It's getting ridiculous.
Rally participants passed out stop, stop, and frisk buttons, and one man, Alan, stopped to get some and said he hopes with the button the police will stop frisking him all the time.
Stop me with my daughter and frisk me while I'm with her. And it's not fair because she be looking like she's scared. She's, you know what I'm saying? But she's good though.
Despite massive opposition in New York to, quote, secure communities, this federal ICE program was implemented on May 15th and will increase collaboration between immigration officials and police forces. Activists have decried it as a mass deportation program that could have the effect of stop and frisk, not just funneling people to jails, but also the detention and deportation system. Lisa Ortega, the mother of an incarcerated son and longtime organizer in the Bronx, says Secure Communities is yet another government program to make people feel unwelcome.
I mean, stop and frisk policies affect everyone, including immigrants, people that are undocumented. I mean, this land belongs to them, and now everyone's being treated as if they're a criminal. There's not one single person that walks the streets in the community that they live in that they're being felt welcome. They're being felt like they're strangers and visitors in their own homes.
Cornell West and 19 others were found guilty after being arrested at a stop and frisk rally last year. They will appeal the judge's ruling. Activists say they will plan future civil disobediences, corner speakouts, rallies, and vigils. Some elected officials are taking notice. This week, the State Assembly is holding a 3-hour hearing on the policy and practice of stop and frisk. Andalusia Knoll, The Real News Network, New York City.